What starts as a relaxing day of fishing can end in tragedy for our wildlife. Reporter Madeline Korzanuski explains why local wildlife rehabilitators say the biggest threat is what people leave behind.
I've done this for over 40 years, and it doesn't, I'm starting to cry a little bit, and it doesn't get easier.
Kathy Stelford says more than 90% of the animals treated at wildlife rehabilitation centers are there because of people, not nature.
And then when we took him out again, we saw how deeply embedded both fishing line and the fishing twine. The feather damage was tremendous. The flash constricts the blood flow.
Experts say discarded fishing line becomes even more dangerous once it reaches the water.
Takes on the smell of food. To them, that's food. They see something glittering in the water, they swallow it, and others, they get caught in it.
Rehabilitators say cases like this come through their doors frequently.
We're always taking in birds. Of course, they try to get it off. The harder they pull, the more it goes around the leg. We've had them brought in where it's been all the way to the bone.
The good news is every one of these injuries can be prevented.
Make sure that they take any of their extra hooks or any of their fishing line or anything they're using and dispose of it just like they would anything else.
But Kathy says the hardest part isn't treating the injuries. It's watching animals die from something that never should have been there.
I wish people had to see what rehabbers have to see, because we're the ones who have to witness the death.
In the State Line, I'm Madeline Korzanuski.
Keep Northern Illinois Beautiful says there are recycling stations across northern Illinois, and if anglers can't find one, throwing used line in the trash is always better than leaving it